Hi, I am Sarana Mitchell, and this is the last in the series in the OECA's Clean Oceans Journalist Challenge that I'm taking part in. One entrepreneurial Grenadian, Bernard Williams, is seeking to solve the problem of yachts dumping raw sewage into the sea. He has outfitted his boat, which is called Nice Vybz, to pump out the sewage and dump it 3 nautical miles from Grenada.
As part of Nice services, we also did marine charters. So we would do snorkeling tours, for some of our rental guests as a complementary business to the car rental business. Okay. And since COVID-19 pandemic hit, you know that the tourism sector has taken a hard hit. But I still have the craft, the boats that we would do the charters with.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I was also taught that COVID would make some businesses and it would break some businesses.
Certainly.
You would have to be able to adjust to suit the climate and adjust to suit the changes. Right. So I saw the need for, let me take you back probably about 4 years before even me purchasing the boat.
How many boats do you have?
One boat. One
Okay.
boat. Right. Now I spent some time in New York. I have a friend that owns a boat in New York. And we spent a week on the boat. And while on the boat, during that week, he called in for the sewage pump out service. And they came and pumped out the sewage tanks on the boat.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was a very interesting business. Come forward 4 years, I saw on the news that the people at Woburn were experiencing problems with all the yachties that are moored in Prickly Bay, the Woburn, Hog Island, Clarkscourt Bay area,
mm-hmm.
with the disposal of the feces or human waste or black water in the marine world, as it is called, into that lagoon, into that sea area there, that bay. Yeah. And there were even cases where raw feces came ashore. The guys are doing the planting of the sea moss, the fishermen, even the regular beach goers were having issues. People were kind of scared to bathe or, even venture into those waters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right. As you see, we have a large influx of the yachts in those areas.
Yes.
Reason being, we are just about the 12-degree knots on the world map, and insurance companies, if you keep your yacht above 12 degrees knots, which would put you right in the direct hurricane belt, the insurance costs or insurance fees would be a lot more than if you're under it. So Grenada has become a safe haven basically for shelter from the hurricane. We're not directly out of the hurricane zone, but we're a lot safer than some of the islands.
Yeah.
Right, we're sheltered compared to some of the islands further north. So we notice that there's a large influx of, the yachting industry has been blooming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Even some of the mariners that keep yachts on the hard, they're overwhelmed right now with yachts that are on the hard. Yeah.
Okay.
And that is pushed by the insurance industry, right?
So seeing that problem, what did you do?
Well, I reached out to my friend in New York, same friend, and I told him what I observed and the fact that I have the boats already, and it is, well, I can't use it as I would have loved to use it because of the lack of tourists. So we thought of doing a sewage pump boat.
Mm-hmm.
So we started doing research in terms of the pump and all that it takes and all that. And he did his part on his end. I did my part via the internet. I went around and asked a lot of questions. I did a lot of research. I also did research as to what the laws would be pertaining to moored in harbors and dumping black water or sewage into mooring areas, you know, and we thought of, you know, doing that. So we did a costing. As I said, I already have the boat, so we did a costing into the other hardware that was needed, the pump, which is very expensive, yeah, and all the other fittings.
When you say expensive, how much is a pump?
Upwards of let's say that whole setup with the pump and all the fixtures, upwards of $4,000 US.
Okay. So how long did it take you to do your research and everything?
Probably about a year.
Okay.
About a year,
just about ready to go out there. So you will be going out to yachties and pumping their sewage into your taking the
right.
sewage from the boats.
We also built a tank, special tank. Yeah, that we would be able to accommodate just above 200 gallons of sewage. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. So the average yacht, as part of the research, the holding tanks would hold possibly about, I would say about anywhere in the range of 10 to about 30 gallons.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you do with that sewage that you pump out? What do you do with it?
Okay. So international maritime law states that you would have to go a minimum of 3 miles out from port, 3 nautical miles out from port. So what you would find, some of the yachties that do or that are concerned about the environment and are concerned would go sailing from time to time, and they would go to 3 nautical miles out and dispose of their sewage. Okay. But there are some that, for whatever reason, and because I guess there's no legislations enforced, I think there are, because it's an international law, but because it's not enforced locally, they get away with it. Okay. So we have we map on board, because we also have a GPS on board. So we map the distance that we would go out to make sure that we go within the stipulated zone to have the sewage dispersed. Wow. Yeah.
So you're the first of your kind doing this in Grenada. How much do you charge to do one boat?
From my knowledge. Okay, so what we've been doing as of Monday this week, we've been going from yacht to yacht. And also in the process of going yacht to yacht, we're logging all the yachts that we've visited.
Okay.
So we would have an estimate as to how many yachts that are presently moored in this southern part of the island.
So far, how many have you counted?
We've done in excess of 200.
Wow.
So far.
Wow.
Yeah, we've done in excess of 200 so far. What I also can tell you is a lot of the yachties have welcomed our initiative.
That's good.
Because one, they know what is right. They also have a concern for the environment. Some of them also use water makers. Water makers would pump in the seawater, and it's like a process. It would process it and make it into fresh water.
Okay.
So you wouldn't want to be having a water maker and knowing that you're pumping somebody else's sewage into your water maker.
Yes, exactly.
Make fresh water, to operate your your stuff on board. Yeah.
So how much do you charge to pump out sewage from one yacht?
We have been offering an introductory offer. So we're going to start with a minimum of 10 Eastern Caribbean dollars, 10 EC dollars per gallon. And for start, so anything from 1 to 30 gallons, we're going to do it for about 100 EC dollars as an introductory offer. Yeah.
Okay.
To get into the market, to get people wanting to. We're trying to make it reasonably enough for the yachties. Because a lot of people are under the impression that yachties are millionaires, and some of them are really aren't. Yes,
they don't know. They don't know.
They live in, yeah. But I mean,
a
what
yacht
we're
is
doing,
a yacht is just like having a car.
a mobile home, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just having a mobile home. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, I have to say kudos to you for such an entrepreneurial move, because it's something that's needed and you are helping the environment thus far. Will you look at?
Thanks.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I looked at it at both ways. I looked at it like if you're playing sports and you're being paid to play sports, so you're doing something that you like. Now, I have an appreciation for the environment. You know, I have young kids and I take them swimming. They love the sea. They love swimming. They love going to the beach. And I also see it as a business opportunity. And I wouldn't want my kids to be swimming in raw sewage. You know, and I have been out and about, and I've actually seen raw sewage floating about in more areas. Yeah.
Where do you live?
I live at Wester Hall in St. David's. Yeah.
Okay. So you have started already, or are you just getting people, like, putting your business out there?
Well, we're ready. We haven't pumped any yachts as yet. As I say, we started on Monday. It's Thursday today. We've gotten requests to come back to do yachts, and we've already made deals with some of the yachties as to when we're going to come and yeah.
Will you ever consider treating the sewage before dumping it 3 nautical miles out?
Well, yes, we also have environmentally safe detergents or disinfectants. Yes, that's a special marine environmentally safe detergents that we would place in our tanks that will help break down the sewage and also help preserve the environment. Yeah.
Okay. What's the name of it? Are you able to share the name, or it's not?
Not off the top of my head.
Only a few weeks ago, Permanent Secretary with responsibility for Fisheries, Michael Stephen, revealed on this program that the government was very close to creating a policy to solve this very problem.
We are looking at a marine waste management policy, right? Because as you well know, an aspect of the tourism sector is the yachting industry. And well, yachts are essentially boats in the sea, and they have human beings using these boats, and they have waste that is generated, right? So essentially, we have to ensure that you know, the disposal of waste from these vessels are regulated properly, and so the waste does not go into our oceans or seas and contaminates you know, the water and you know, and the neighboring environment. So we are looking at putting together a marine waste management policy that would essentially regulate the amount of waste that is disposed in our nearshore environment. And that is at an advanced stage. And once that is implemented, it will be in line with international, you know, regulations, and it will ensure that our, you know, our nearshore environment is protected.
The island is marketed as Pure Grenada to the world. But what this show has unearthed is that we have our fair share of environmental concerns, especially with littering. However, the Grenada Tourism Authority says it's doing its part to sensitize the public. especially starting with children?
Well, as you indicated, we are Pure Grenada, the Spice of the Caribbean, and the Pure Grenada brand is really very important for us. It is important for the people of Grenada, Caribbean, and Martinique for one very, very, very important reason. The fact that the Pure Grenada speaks to our aspirations as a people, and it also becomes an inspiration. Because when we're talking about Pure and we're talking about what happens to the next generation, it is really very important that everybody understands why Pure, why sustainability, why do we need to go to the next step of regenerative tourism. So, Pure is really very key. And over the years, we have been trying to do a lot as regards to the environment. And this is simply because we understand the integral relationship between tourism and the destination. And destination, of course, means product. Product means every aspect that the visitors enjoy when they come to Grenada. From the waterfalls to walking along the Carnage to going to Oyster Bed in Carriacou, you name it, it is part of the tourism product because it's what people come to see. The livelihoods, the people, the way that we eat and we drink and we, just a general aesthetic of who we are and what we do have that is so very unique. So, Pure Grenada is integral. And of course, in 2017, although there would have been, different activities over the years, in 2017 we actually started a program called Tourism and Me. And Tourism and Me was a booklet, which is, we have actually an e-booklet also for the kids, which was developed. And we would have started a school program in conjunction with the Ministry of Education as part of their social studies program. So it targeted grade 4, 5, 6 students. And so it helped them kind of bridge the gap for the services industries when they're understanding and learning about social sciences.
Okay, so the littering issue, how are you targeting that?
Right, so the littering issues, the actual book has a component on sustainability, right? And how the kids, by their daily routines, keep their schools clean because people can come visit them and they can do projects together. Keep their homes clean because you have your friends and relatives that are coming and you need to be able to do that. Keep their beaches clean. We've done a lot of beach cleanups in Carriacou, for example. Even here in Grenada, we support, be it NADMA doing something or some other entity or agency doing something. If we find that, we will always provide support. And this is the way that we need to do it, because although we are not, the Tourism Authority doesn't have an environmental mandate, we understand that indirectly it affects what we sell, what we propose. And so it is important that we started from the little ones. And why we would have gone into the schools, we actually did every single primary school. And when the kids were finished, actually we would have, there was a little quiz at the back, and then they received their tourism ambassador pins, because they have to look after their country. They actually had a pledge that spoke about keeping the environment clean, being helpful to visitors, the importance of their culture, that sort of thing. And if you build from there, understanding that we do have an environmental challenge, and it is inherent now as the kids grow and they understand the importance of their backyard and they understand the beauty of Grenada, you will see that this problem as it relates to littering will be overcome.
I have seen some bins on the Carnage with Pure Grenada on it. Are you going to continue that work with the Grenada Solid Waste Management Authority and or put more of those on sites around the island? Mm-hmm. Is that something that you would look into?
Well, we would have done the 1 or 2 on the Carnage, but of course there is a balance, because when you put a bin down, you tend to find that it seems to breed more garbage, because people know there's a bin there, so all of a sudden you see garbage that wasn't there before you put the bin down. But we actually have taken on a project in Carriacou and in Grenada whereby we have bins on the frequented beaches. And of course with the Ministry of Tourism would also have their beaches, for example at Bathway, for which they manage. And we actually did these stickers. And on the stickers, I think it said "Keep Grenada Clean and Beautiful." It was litter bug, right? So we actually had 2 characters. So we had Natasha and then we have litter bug, and of course the fact that both of them would go together. We also actually did an animation recently also for the kids. I think that must have been 1 year or 2 years ago, that also spoke about the anti-litter, the things that we need to do, don't do, And of course, that of course was already also geared towards the kids. That has also been a big piece for us. And our overseas office actually utilized it in one of their programs recently with some of the stakeholders, wanted to know some of the efforts that we were doing in the environment, and that was one of the things that we raised, you know. But you know, the effort continues. The effort continues at the end of the day. Pure Grenada, Spice of the Caribbean, is very, very important. How we treat our backyard, all of the intricate, beautiful places that we call our home is so very critical, and I think it's an inherent need, an inherent understanding of trying to keep Grenada beautiful for future generations.
I took to the streets of St. George's as well as the world-renowned Grenadian speech to speak with our people about littering and taking care of our environment. This is what they had to say.
Well, to get people to stop littering is something you cannot stop people from doing no matter how much you try. But what you can, implant is allow, stop billboards and posters where you should not be littering, and put bins where you know people litter most, etc. Yeah, that's about it.
What do you think about Grandad's Beach?
Well, Grenada's Beach is a tourist attraction, one of the most popular beaches in Grenada. At all times, it should always remain clean, no matter what. Well, they do have beach personnel cleaning the beach, keeping it clean and safe. Yeah.
Oh, what are you going to do to keep Grenada clean?
Well, do my part and put all my litter in the bin.
I think littering is bad, and I think
I to myself have a very big problem with this. And I find to myself we should be more responsive. Okay? Grenada belongs to we, and we're supposed to take care of Grenada. In other words, to be more tidy, man. Much more tidy, because you know, if everybody do what they have to do, it will be a better place. Much cleaner and a better place to live in. A better place to live in, because at least we could do better. Because what I've seen happening sometimes, the beam is just about let's say for instance, a foot away from where we're throwing our stuff on the ground, you know. The beam is here and we're still throwing it on the, you know, close to the beam. So we could do better, but we have to be more responsive. Okay?
Okay, so what are your thoughts about Grandad's Beach?
Grandad's Beach is one of the many beaches in Grenada which is still in a pristine condition, and I'm happy for that. We as citizens of Grenada should always try to maintain the beach as best as we can in terms of not littering the beach, and preserve it for future generations.
What are you going to do?
Well, I have always kept a healthy respect for my environment, which includes the beach. So the preservation of the beach is part of my life. So that is what I am doing personally to maintain the integrity of the beach.
For me?
Kathleen Andrew.
Tell me, what are your thoughts about Grandad's Beach?
Very lovely, serene, peaceful, calm.
Are you from Grandad's?
No, I'm not.
Where are you from?
St. Andrew.
Wow, so you're all the way down in the south.
Yes.
What are your thoughts about keeping our oceans clean, especially in Grenada or Grandad's Beach?
It's very important, because if we have to enjoy this, we have a big responsibility to ensure that it stays clean and doesn't become polluted, so that at the end of the day we would not be able to enjoy what we have. So we have a major part to play and a role to play in ensuring that we keep it clean as best as we can, don't litter, so that we have this to enjoy and our children can enjoy Fiesta.
And what are you going to do?
I will take my mess away, use the bins that are provided, or if there are no bins provided, we believe in taking our garbage away and throwing it and disposing of it properly.
Grenada's beach is like one of the most beautiful beach in Grenada to this date, and like I think one of the top 10 best beaches in the world. So Grenada's beach, it's a beautiful beach to me. Yeah.
What do you think the authorities should do to continue to keep it beautiful?
Well, I think the authorities are doing a good job though. You know, if you look around it, it's a beautiful beach. We have the bins. I mean, people, they have the workers early in the morning that come and give it a really good clean out, and I think they do a good job too. And you know, sometimes people don't see them, but they come and they see a clean beach and they wonder, wow. But there are people early in the morning and they put out a good work of cleaning the beach and sorting it out. So
That's good. What do you think should be done to keep our oceans clean in general? Relittering and
I
everything.
feel people just need to be more aware, you know, of the dangers of trash and all that, you know, runoffs and all that into the sea. But again, I feel like people are also more aware that we have like dive shops and all that. They go out, and when they go diving, they do the cleanup and all that. So people are more aware in this age. Yeah.
What are you going to do as a Grenadian to help keep Grandans and the rest of the beaches around Grenada clean?
Yeah, well, I could pass on the knowledge as well, you know. I just pass on the knowledge and let everybody know that, you know, we have a beautiful beach out here, and let's just keep it clean and nice, you know.
What are your thoughts on littering and what should be done about it?
Well, for me, littering is a very disgusting thing. It hurts my heart to see it. You know, when you walk around, especially being on the canal, you see all the litter, people just walking and throwing things. It's a disgusting thing to do. It's not morally right. You see people driving their vehicles, they just throwing stuff outside. It's not nice. What needs to be done? I mean, yes, I mean, you can't hit people, but sometimes, you know, you just need to get them. You need to clothe them. I mean, some people, I mean, it's just disgusting, man. I mean, you just eat your thing. And some people, they have no decorum. It's saddening. It's very saddening.
What should be done?
What should be done? I mean, yes, there's laws in place, but you can't charge everybody, and you can't allow everyone to, you know, to be their own justice vigilante. I mean, I'm not telling you to be Batman. Shit, I mean, some people deserve to get lashed. I mean, if they give me the power to do it, I would hit them. Get a nice shape of bamboo, and I just see somebody just clothe them and just call a judge.
Anything for me?
Yeah, well, the first thing you got to do is that I think the people need to put more garbage bin all over the place, you know, and they have to kind of do some ads like on the TV and on the radio, encouraging people, you know, to use the bins accordingly. Yeah, so I think that's what needs to be done to kind of help in regards to the pollution problem, whether it's plastic, whether it's paper, whatever form of trash it may be. The people needs to be educated in regards to that. Absolutely well in regards to keeping Grenada Beach clean. Actually, they have cleaners that they deployed on Grenada Beach and has erected signs warning, you know, people who even walks their dogs on Grenada Beach that to pick up after their dogs and stuff like that. I mean, I think they're doing a good job, you know, on Grenada Beach compared to other beaches. Because if you yourself would visit Grenada Beach, there isn't a place where you would actually see like people are actually cooking on Grenada Beach. You understand? Like other beaches where people are actually going and they're using the beach and they're leaving all the trashes there and stuff like that. So Grenada Beach in a sense, I don't know if it's because it's one of the most popular beach and it's a beach that is mainly advertised. I think that's one of the most reasons why they pay so much a particular attention to it in terms of cleaning it, and given the fact that it's on the hotel.
It is clear that what we do on land does affect our oceans. I want to thank Remlich and the OECS for putting on this challenge to journalists. I have learned a lot over the past few weeks, and I hope that whomever watches this series learns enough, or more than enough, to make changes that will help our environment. I am Serrana Mitchell. Have a good one.